In this video, we're going to be welding a horizontal 2F weld with a weave pattern. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll place my 2-inch flat bar on my welding table and securely clamp it, trying to get rid of any deflections that might be in this stock material. We are welding 3/16 inch carbon steel, so I'm going to set my wire speed as 153. My voltage is 19 and make sure my welder is set up for standard MIG welding. So with my part secure, I'm going to go ahead and create a new program using my pendant. I'll navigate to the program tab and select a new program, program 5. And program 5 has points in it, so I need to delete and clear this program. So I delete all the points. And then now I can give this program a name so that I can reference back to this name in the future if I need to. And I'm just going to give it the simple name F2, and I'll press enter to confirm. And so next I'm going to set my function. This is the function of holding the green button, and I'm going to set that to weave. So a long press of the green button on the end effector will weave. Now that I've done that, the last thing I need to do is set my weld speed. Since I'm doing a horizontal weld, I'm just going to set this at 15 inches per minute, and that should be sufficient. My pendant is now ready for me to teach my program, but before I teach any points, I first want to make sure I have the correct amount of wire coming out of the torch. So I'm going to use a ruler and some snips and make sure that I have a 1/2 inch of wire from the contact coming out of the contact tip of the torch. And this will ensure that as I teach points, I have the correct amount of distance between my weld seam and the torch gun. This is a very important step, and it ensures that you have a consistent contact to work distance. So now that I've done that, I'm going to teach a few approach points by pushing the green button on my end effector. And now I'm going to position the tip of the wire into my seam, ensuring that I have the desired orientation, which in this case will be a 0-degree push/drag. And now, since I want this to be a weave, I'm going to hold down the green button, and doing that will signify that I want this to be a weave instead of just a normal linear segment. I'm going to teach a intermediate point along this seam, just in case this metal has a bit of a wave in it. And now that I've defined this seam as a weave, I don't have to do any more special presses of my buttons. I can just do a quick press of the green button, and that'll teach this intermediate point. And then towards the end of my seam, I need to teach one last point. And again, that'll be with a quick press of the green button on my end effector. So I push the green button and then the red button to signify the arc is off. And a few more retract points. And then before I do any welding, I want to make sure that this is going to work. I do a dry run, and that just means that the arc safety is on. And I'm just going to watch the weave motion and make sure that it's properly centered around my seam. Since I'm happy with the dry run, I'm going to go ahead and run this program with the arc safety off. So underneath the the welding screen, I just set the arc safety to the off position. You'll see a red border around the screen, and that just means the welding will be active. So now the robot is weaving and welding, and when we're done, we're going to take a closer look at the weld.